gender issues or gender relevant related issues are important in media? What are the most important, and how women, especially when I say gender, it can be even transgenders or it can be even men for that matter. But here I'm concentrating more because it is one of the developed paper on which I'll be presenting some of the facts and figures also. So how media portrays the women and what is the impact of these kind of portrayal? What is it? Has got a lot of impact on the society. When you look into the present day society, there is a lot of impact which happens. So this particular thing will be dealing on those issues. Okay. Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. Fine. Okay. Video. Hope you people can hope you people can see the restriction. Okay. Fine. Okay, this whole presentation for 190 minutes to speak to you. I'll be speaking to you people on how media treats the gender issue and why it is one of the very important component in the present day situation also. So my whole of the presentation will have these kind of things. Such as defining the gender. Yes, everybody, each one of us know what gender is all about. It's a socially constructed when we speak of women, when we speak of men, when we speak of transgenders and all. Okay, so that is about the social construction, how it related to our behavior and all. So there is a lot of things when earlier we used to use the word sex more, but now it is always gender. Everybody knows that it is the kind of word what is being used today. It's always gender. When I say representation, how women or how men or how minorities or how the transgenders, usually when I say gender here, I'll also be speaking more on some of the transgenders issues also, because we have been working on those lines also. How the representation, because when we all know that media is a fourth center, fourth estate as for that matter, and whatever comes in the media becomes the law of the law of the land. Okay, whatever is being shown on the media, especially people tend to believe it. The kind of influence what the media today has, whether it is a newspaper or whether it's a print media, whether it's an electronic media, it can be advertisement, or it can be your social media, it can be films. Okay, so there are different channels in which the representation does happen. And media is one of the such a component which has got a very long lasting impact on the minds of the people. Okay, whatever is being shown or whatever is being written in the media or whatever is being spoken on the channels like radio channels and all, it becomes the very important content for the people. So whenever we think of this gender, whenever we speak of women or when other kind of things, so how it is being represented, why this representation is very much important, that we'll also be discussing in the coming slides. And also why, what representation, how are they projected? When I say here what is representation, how these women or how these transgenders or how even men for that matter, when I say gender, I'll be because we have more number of men in the panel or in the participants, all participation also. So how we are being represented, so that will also be taken into consideration. And we need to understand that the kind of impact the media has today. Media has a very long lasting impact on the minds of the people. So let's see through the case studies, or let's through the examples when I'll be discussing. I'm just using this PPT just for your sake, because I prefer speaking very extempore, based on the work what we have done and based on the experiences of sharing n number of things what to be what which can be shared. So in the same way, let us also try to examine the kind of importance of the media influence, why this is happening, how it could have been changed, or how impactful it is, whether it has got a positive kind of an impact, whether the media is influencing in a very bad manner. So we need to understand these kind of things also. Then I'll also speak to you people about the representation in media, because when we say media, it encompasses both men and women working across different sections of the media. Are we represented in a well manner? Is it being balanced? When we say, when there is a representation, it has to be very balanced. So are we doing it? So media is one of the things which preaches a lot of things. Media gives you information. It sets you a kind of a platform where discussions can happen, where public opinions can be formulated. So in doing so, is media giving a good representation? How the issues related to women, how the issues related to transgenders, how the issues related to children's, minorities, or men for that matter, or senior citizen for that matter, how are they represented? Are they being given their due respect? That also needs to be examined. We will be discussing. At the same time, when I say gender, it is completely deeply rooted into the cultural norms of the country also. India being a multilingual country, India being a multicultural country, and all, we know what kind of influence we have. We have a conservative society on the one hand, we have a very modern outlook. So there is a kind of an extreme kind of influence what we have, what we usually see. So we'll just try to look into the thing where how this media is trying to influence the cultural norms. Because as I told, we have something called as a bullet theory. Okay, in journalism, we have something called as a bullet theory, which speaks about what is being shown or what is being given to the people on a regular interval. Every day, you keep on telling the same thing, banging on their head, nailing them with the same things. That changes the mind of the people. So if I'm showing you some bad things every now and then, so it is bad. For example, the crime stories. If you keep on seeing the crime stories now and then, your mind becomes more kind of a thing. You get carried away by the crime. You get ideas to create some kind of a crime. So in general also, media has got an influence on the cultural norms. That also has to be checked in. When we look into the perspective, okay, when I look into the media and when we discuss about the gender issue, it can be divided into different perspective here. So I have, for your convenient manner, I've just listed out some of the perspective in which one is the representation perspective in media. How is a gender or are being represented? Okay, so whenever, for example, take for example a television serial. Take for example a particular film character or something. So whenever you see the media, I told you, whenever you are being, because you know, film is something, is nothing but it is just an imagination. Okay, it is just an imagination through which it is an imagination of a director. Okay, about the characters and all. So when you represent something, especially a woman are shown in a bad light, or if a woman is shown as a very what you call is a downtrodden one, or a woman is been shown as a helpless character, this will have different diversity and it will have multi-dimensional consequences. Each and every person will be impacted by this. So whenever you're creating a character, okay, whenever in the media, especially when you're creating a character, you need to understand that this representation of a character, because everybody watches serial. It can be your Hindi serials, it can be your Kannada serials or Tamil or Malayalam, whatever be the thing. So you have women characters. Every I'm just giving an example. So every serial have a women character, a protagonist, okay, the lead character. So it is very much shown that these characters are positive in nature. See, we do have negative characters also, but what is the kind of imagination you are going to give to the people? Are women so divided? So we have women in the negative characters also. People curse them. You have a positive. People say, oh, you have to be like her. You have to be like Parvati. You have to be like Tulsi. You know the characters. That means the characters, what you create is a representation of a woman. So when you show them in a very good light, when you show them in a very conservative kind of a thing, people have an imagination. This, for me, a woman is this. So this is the representation perspective, what a media can give it to you. Not only the serials, but please see the way in which the women are being represented in advertisements. Almost all the way advertisements you people take, cut back to 80s, 1980s and 1990s. Women used to be in the advertisement. She used to be a homemaker. Okay, she used to be a daughter-in-law. She used to cook for the family. Even the advertisement also. Her advertisements was related only to cooking oil or maybe the soaps or maybe the detergents. Okay, only that much. Okay, cut to 1990s and cut to 2025. Women are being shown as a character or as a particular image where she is not only a homemaker but also an established person who is there in the corporate sector. The kind of dressing has changed, the kind of women perspectives have changed, the mindset have changed. Okay, you see women in different things. That means it is nothing but what you people see in the media is nothing but the mirror of the society. That is there in the society very much. But media we should be very choosy when you show these kind of characters. So women in advertisements are different. Women in films, the characters in the films are very diverged. Okay, it's very diverse. Gone are the days when women asked to be only the mother of the hero. Okay, just imagine your Amitabh Bachchan movies. So every time there used to be a widow mother who used to struggle for the survival of their children, who will be separated from the children. The same kind of a thing. So where women was being shown very submissive, she was shown as an helpless character. She has to depend on somebody, maybe husband or maybe the children for this matter. So that means what has happened is we have constructed a kind of a thing where women is this. So these kind of stereotyping or these kind of what I call conservativeness has to be broken. So that means whenever a media comes up with these kind of characters, you have to be very careful because it will have an impact on the mind of the people who watch. It can be us or it can be you also. At the same time, so how do you depict masculinity? How regarding the femininity? Women are supposed to be very feminine. If somebody dresses like a tomboy, they say, why do you dress up like a tomboy? If a person or if a man dress up like a woman, you say, how can you are a man? You have to be like this. So there is a binary identity. You know now there is some kind of a lesbian, what you call as it can be gay culture is there, or it can be lesbian cultures are there. So there are different things which are there in the country right now. So, but when media is projecting these kind of characters, you have to be very careful because we have to look into the conservativeness of the country also. So there is a kind of a stereotype and this can be challenged. So is media doing the right thing? That needs to be questioned. The second important thing is about the production perspective. See, when I speak about media, so we are in a system where men, women, everybody works together. Okay, whether it's a newspaper, a film industry, an advertisement, a corporate sector, okay, or a digital media. So everybody works. So is women are on the top decision place? Like, are they directors? Are they editors? Are they doing the work on a top position? So the answer is still no. Even in 2025, we find very less number of women directors in the country. There are many people, even you can, I don't know whether you people will agree with me or not, that the kind of population, the kind of people who go to watch Rajamouli film, okay, because he's one of the topmost director of our country. The same thing, cut short to Meera Nair, who is also one of the leading women directors. People prefer Rajamouli direction, not the women directors. See, both of them are doing the same thing. Both of them are directing the movies. Both of them have story, they have characters, but still, just because it's a women-made movies, many of them, there are no takers. People don't want to even come up with this kind of the thing. Even now, there are many good number of examples I can quote that women directors movies are not being given their due respect also. That is also there. At the same time, in media, especially in the print media and all, there is a lot of disparity in terms of the payment. One of my students did a research on the electronic women, the status of women in electronic media and Kannada news channels. Okay, Kannada news channels, how many women are there? And it was 291 women are working in Kannada news channels, different news channels, around 12 news channels were there. So we could identify 291. The pay, the disparity of the pays, because I'm speaking is media is not only about what you see on the screen, but at the same time, there are many people who are working behind the screen. You have reporters, you have got editors, you have got presenters, news anchors. So men and women, both are anchors, but he gets more, she gets less. But both of them do the same thing. Both of them work for 8 hours. This disparity does exist even in the media to this matter also. So, and they are not being given the leadership job. I'm very happy to quote that very recently, Republic Kannada came up with the women leadership. One of my very good friend, okay, she has Shobha, she took over as the editor of the Republic TV. That means earlier it used to be a lot of barriers. Women were not given this kind of a leadership thing. So that's not only about the media, but even within the media also, there are a lot of things which needs to be taken. The third important thing is about the audience perspective. So whenever there is an issue related to gender, we need to be very much careful because the kind of messages which goes to the people can convey a lot of different things. People can think about the same character in different way. They perceive the messages what media is giving. If the media says she is bad, she is this, she is that, people tend to believe that. If media says they are good, she is innocent and all, again the people are tend to believe. That means you have to be very careful to understand that whenever you're giving a message, people are perceiving it in a very wrong way or right way. So that is also there. If the woman is a criminal, things are different. If a man is a criminal, things are different. Okay, whenever there is, we have seen even in the media, you'll agree with me. Media tend to, in the name of exaggeration, in the name of getting more TRPs and all, they tend to make women in a bad light. Okay, so murder case, just example of a murder case. How women, for example, I'm just giving an example of Darshan involvement in one of the murder. How the women character is being portrayed and how his character is being portrayed. Again, so there is a kind of thing. So media needs to be very careful when you think that, because audience will take the messages from the face value. That is also very much important. At the same time, when the media has to reinforce, because many a times I'm not telling that media is not doing the right kind of a thing. They are doing it, but there is a challenge for us whenever we want to reinforce the identity. There are many good number of challenges which come to us in order to make a women character a very strong one. Yes, the fourth one will be the cultural perspective. When we speak of gender in media, we always look into the cultural perspective. See, we are not, I would say, yes, we are very westernized. Our thoughts are different. Our education system has given a lot of things. We need to have that broad perspective. We need to see the things in different way. But at the same time, we are also rooted so strong when it comes to the culture. Okay, whatever be the thing. So being a lady, being a person working for 20, 22 years, still my mother say you had to be home by 7:30. Okay, so though I own a profession, I am into some administrative positions, there are there, but it's a kind of a deadline. So cultural perspective for women also has got some kind of a societal attitude. Okay, that means still you are being controlled because of the culture. Whatever my education is, whatever my broadness is, whatever be the thinking of me, but this is the thing. That means you are culturally rooted. Who is going along with you? How many, when is that you are going to get back home? Okay, so that means these kind of things has gotten even the media narratives. Whenever there is, I'm just giving an example, when there is a rape, for example, when it happened, Nirbhaya case in Delhi. Okay, so there were different perspective which came. They said, why did the girl go out with his boyfriend at 12 or 10:30 in Delhi when she knows that Delhi is such a crime-prone area? So the societal attitudes still the same. The boy is there, the girl is there. Okay, we have the government, the Constitution of India has given us the right. After 18, you are free to choose your partner, choose your life partner. But still, the narratives is different. They're not speaking about the rape. They're not speaking about the kind of heinous crime which has happened on the women or on the girl who died. Nirbhaya case. But they spoke about the society. What was the reason? Why did she go out? When she knew there were 2-3 people in the bus, she shouldn't have taken the bus. So these kind of societal attitudes are still very much relevant in the Indian context. And even media has also been giving a kind of, I should say, adding fuel to the fire in one or the other thing also. Then political and legal perspective. Okay, speaking of media and law, we are very careful. We do teach our students about media law. Okay, so who is going to question? So media has the right. Media has got all the right to question something. Okay, we question people. Our main duty is to question the people, extract the answers, give a clarity to the people thoughts. Because I told you, information is loaded for us. What to choose, what not to choose, that has to be told by the media. So in the same way, there are also many legalities, there are also many political perspective when it comes to media. Are we doing it? So there are many ideas, there are many things where we see that women are being ignored. Okay, especially gender sensitive issues are being ignored. And whether the media is doing, whenever after this I will be having some Q&A sessions where you people can raise issues on the pertaining to the law issues and how media is be taking up the laws and all. Okay, then even in the more political campaigns, especially Are the political leaders, whenever they go for campaigning, whenever they do the political issues, election is like a big festival for us, do they address gender issues? See, political parties, even in the media, whenever the political issues are being written, whenever there is a political matters are being written, we speak or we use women only as a voting thing. We just use women as a voting component. Okay, she is just an voter. Forget the kind of issues what she is dealing with. Our health issue, educational issue, lot of things. See, it is not the number of days what a government is. What is your contribution? Have we seen, for example, just give you a small example of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao Andolan, which was started way back in the 2014, has completed its 10 years now. Okay, just recently, 3-4 months back, this Beti Padhao, Bachao, Beti Padhao, the tagline of the government, central government, completed 10 years of its existence. Okay, so that is about the political campaign, because they wanted women to make much more educated. They want women to come out and all those things. Fine. Have you people ever seen? Has it stopped? Has the atrocities on women have been stopped? How many girls are getting the education? Are these very slogans are just remaining the slogan, a mere slogan, or has it got any impact at the urban area, at the rural area, at the grassroots level, in the political campaign, in the economic structure? No, we don't find anything. So that means, what is the role of the media then? What are we trying to do? This political, it's not only about covering the politics, it is getting more deeper into it. Why I'm telling you all these things is because with the examples that still these gender issues is staying there. It is there. It is going to be there, omnipresent, everywhere it is there. But how we are trying to do in the media, that needs to be questioned. Again, I'm telling you, as all of us are academicians. You people come from different background, from different subject streams. So this sensitization of the gender, whether you come from economics, you come from management, you come from media, from sociology or social work, these gender issues need to be addressed to the students, because what I have found over the period of time is women and even the students, whether it is boys or whether it is girls, their sensitivity level has gone down too much. So it is our duty as teachers, whenever we are speaking to them in the classroom, come up with these kind of examples, tell them the real stories, tell them the case studies, see that how these perspective, because the perspective of the people can do a lot of wonders, which we are not trying to do. See, media is just a component. So media is there to give you the news, you watch television, you go off. You see a movie, you forget it. But the characters, but the idea, but the context has to trickle down to these people, especially the future generation. Then at the same time, you have the activist perspective. Media is an activist tool. How you use the media to get the things done, again, it depends upon you people. You can't have a strategic silence. We are all the people. It's a Nandiyake. Why should I do? Why should I involve? It is nothing. It's not related to me. Something is happening in Manipur. Women are being paraded naked. Women are being killed there. Okay, the tribal Cookie tribe people are being killed there. Why will it bother me because I'm in Karnataka? Because I'm sitting safe in Andhra Pradesh? I'm sitting safe in Tamil Nadu? No, it's not like that. Media is such a tool where you can use this as an activist mode. And for that matter, if people have seen hashtag Me Too, okay, you know how media took up this particular thing. The Me Too campaign, everybody will be aware of it. But just for the briefing, Me Too was a campaign where many of the women celebrities, many of the women entrepreneurs, many of the women celebrities and all, they came out to the streets saying that they have been harassed in the workplace, whether it is television, whether it is cinema. Okay, they have been harassed sexually, they have been harassed. So everybody, almost all the heroines came, they joined this activism like Me Too. So media came up with this kind of they provided a platform where you wanted to raise your voice, and media can be used as a platform where you want to make the things resolved. You can't keep the things very much what you call submissive. It has to be out. So these are some of the activists. Means you can become an activist. You can bring in about a change. Okay, because media is all about making a change in somebody's life. At the same time, we are not speaking only of the traditional media, or we're not speaking only of the electronic media. We do have something called as alternative media. Many of you people may think Television is very difficult. I can't speak. Paper will not take my news, all these kind of things. But we do have something called as independent and alternative media. For that matter, is something called as the community radio stations are there. You must have heard about the BRUT, or the news channel, the Mint is there. Okay, so maybe there are many good number of what you call the news minute is that these are the independent media platforms which can be used to raise your voice. I can't write in a newspaper because they don't give you space. I can't appear on TV9, I can't appear on NDTV because they are closing my this thing, they don't want me to speak. But you have alternative medias wherein you can be the voice of somebody else. That is where the community radio comes into picture. Radio can be used as a very strong tool. Many of the Indian women, many of the, I would like to give you the example of the Sargam. Sargam is a community radio station started by women in Andhra Pradesh. The radio is run by women. The content is designed by the women. Women are the anchors. They bring in all these kind of issues where they want to they want to give power to the women. They speak about domestic violence. They speak about the harassment. They speak about menstruation. They speak about the different kind of diseases. They speak about the depression, what they have. So that means as a gender, means I'm speaking only of women here, but there are many things which can be thought about. But what I'm trying to tell you is there are people to listen to you. Provided, see, everybody has a problem. Everybody has a problem. It doesn't mean that you don't have anybody to listen to you. The same problem may be with my next door person also. So when you open up, media can be used as a very strong, impactful tool in getting the things done. So this is where the activist perspective come into picture. There are many marginalized voice. Again to give you an example, there is a group of women in Lucknow. Okay, they are uneducated women, but now you can't say that because they have started a particular paper called as Kabar Lehariya. They also own a YouTube channel. I'll be very happy to share that UN, that is United Nations Organization, invited these women from the village of Uttar Pradesh to represent their story in the UNO to share their experience as to how these women formed a group. They came up, they started learning television. They started learning to announce in the announcing and all. They started learning the scripting. So some of the organization gave them some cameras and all. They started shooting small issues in their region. So today, even if you go and just type Kabar Lehariya, they are on YouTube. The news is updated. They speak about politics and women. They speak about health and women. They speak about education and women. So that means media, if women want to do something, you can do n number of works in an activist perspective. Always remember, I always believe in that particular lane. If you really want it, you have to work for it. You should not only work for it, you should try to take it. If it's not working in the right way, you have to snatch it sometimes. And I think many of the women are using the media, whether it is radio, TV, paper, digital media, films, whatever that matter, they are using this as a strong tool, as an activist mode, so that they can achieve whatever the thing they can have. At the same time, the psychological perspective. This is very much important because whenever you see somebody in the thing, okay, women, whenever many of my friends are there, many of my co-participants are here. So you look at yourself, especially when a woman, okay, whenever there is a fair and lovely, okay, you have to be fair and lovely. So you know the name has been taken off now. It's no more a fair and lovely, it's a fair and glow. Okay, there was a lot of public interest litigation in the media. So there was a lot of discussion which happened in the media. Why women should be stereotyped? Why she should be very fair? Why she'll always be very slim? Why should she always have this kind of a model like a figure? No, you can't. See, everybody are different. So these media, the advertisement which shows fairer women gets married very easily, the very well-to-do women with such kind of a Western outlooks are more desirable kind of a women, whereas the fatty women, dark women are not. So what used to happen was these kind of images, these kind of portrayal of women has a long-lasting impact on the psychology of the people. I told you, whatever you show in the media, it becomes a kind of a psychology. People will start imitating them. Everybody imitates Amitabh Bachchan. Everybody imitates Shah Rukh Khan. Everybody wants to be Aishwarya Rai. Everybody wants to be Deepika Padukone. So what has happened here is your self-esteem. Media has brought in these kind of an effect. Madam, I want to be like this. Madam, I want to become fairer like this. Madam, I want to have physical appearance like this. I want to dress up like her. I want to dress up like this. So what has happened here is, in the name of looking better, but we think of only psychology, only physical, but we are not thinking of the psychology. So what has happened here is media has been playing a very huge role in terms of advertisement. You people might have seen the advertisement. So you apply the soap tomorrow morning, you are becoming fair, which is not in reality. So this body image, so this has changed over. I don't know how many of you have come up with the new advertisement of Nivea. Okay, and also Dove has come up with an hashtag, my body, my right. Okay, this is for the women. Women come in different shape, women come in different sizes, women come in different looks, they come in different color. So you are not supposed to be like this. Women should be accepted the way you are, because it is impacting the psychology of women in different, because my identity is questioned. Sapna, you were like this, why you become so fat like this? It will affect my self-esteem. So that means, see, we are strong, we may not get affected, but there are many women who get affected because all this, because this will have a kind of a repercussion on their psychology. And yes, in India today, people will agree with me. I know many of my friends are from psychological department also. You know how women are losing their life only because of these kind of mental health issues have become more and more in number. You are getting carried away. Depression has become the order of the day. A child with 7 years who committed suicide just because he was playing a game and he got into some Japanese game, and the end of the game was he is supposed to commit suicide. A seventh standard boy of around 12 years old, of one of the celebrity poet in Bangalore, he committed suicide. So what I'm trying to try is, these are the kind of implications which will have on the mental health also. Just to give you one more example, it's just a recent example of one of the film serial character. Okay, she is a serial celebrity in Karnataka, and she is acted in many of the serials and all. Just during a get together of the friends and all during the weekend party, one of the male actor, he just jokingly said, "Madam, how come you have put on weight?" That's the only line what he told. "Madam, how come you have put on weight?" The very next day, that lady went to the she went to the hospital. She told the doctor that she wants to lose weight, and for the liposuction, okay, that is where the fat of the body has been taken up. The doctor advised her saying that, "Madam, you are not in a situation where you are very normal. Nothing is wrong with your health, and whatever the body mass and all, everything is correct. Don't try to do that." But she was adamant. She said, "I'm paying you the money. I'm ready to pay 10 lakhs rupees. I should look slim in another 10 to 15 days. And in spite of his saying no, she underwent an operation, whatever the treatment that required. On the operation table, she's just 28 or 29 years old. She had a massive heart attack, because this thing was not supposed to go for an operation like that. She died. I mean, the thing is, people, especially women, see, she was a very weak-hearted woman. Just because of comment, how come you look fat? How come you have put on some weight? That was the only line what he said. So that will have a kind of an impact, because I'm telling you this because these kind of media thing, or these kind of exposure towards the mental health, can impact us in a long way. That is also very much important. So this is about the intersection. I'll not be touching upon that. And technological perspective. In technology, yes, today we are having a challenge. We can't think of our life without technology, and we are well aware that technology, they go hand in hand, and media especially, and social media platforms. Okay, this is a challenge, because everybody whatever something. Just tell you one small important thing. It involves technology as well as psychological thing. If a girl puts a picture, I've been seeing that, because we have a good number of students who come and tell us, "Just put a picture for us, a picture of yours," and you keep on checking the thing, because you want somebody to like it. You want somebody to comment on you. You want somebody to say, "Oh, you look good. Oh, you look very pretty. Oh, you look very beautiful." Okay, so the boys doesn't think about these kind of things. For boys, it doesn't matter whether you give them appreciation, whether you give them something. Maybe some section of boys may be there, but for women, majority of the women, whether they are from 8 years, 10 years, or 80 years, they need appreciation. So there are many challenges also. And always remember, in technology also, there are based on algorithms. The kind of content what you see, the kind of posting what you people see, everything is there. And in India, you'll be shocked to hear that online harassment is been growing day by day, or especially for women. Okay, I don't see out of 10, majority of the people who are getting cheated are women. That is, especially out of 10, 6 of them are women who are getting cheated online. It can be sexual harassment, it can be phishing, it can be financial fraud, or it can be stalking, whatever be the thing. So what has happened here is, in the name of media, we are trying to suppress, we are trying to promote these kind of bad things in the women thing. Again, here, as I told you, when gender stereotyping is there. So this is what the gender stereotyping is all about. As I told you, every character, okay, especially for a women character, whether it's a film, even now we have seen, even at the houses also, we have seen many things. As I told you, controlling us, even though we are 40, 42 years, 43 years, the mothers want to have control on us. Okay, so thing is, there is a gender stereotyping where we are formulated and we are controlled by the norms, the assumptions of the society. Okay, though we are diverse, though we are doing n number of things, women in the society, especially in Indian context, we are being framed. Okay, we say this is what a good girl should look like. This is what a married woman should be like. This is what a professional should be like. This is what a homemaker should be like. Okay, so what has happened here is, even in the serials, even in the cinema, even in the newspapers, we are seeing the examples of these kind of a thing. A submissive housewife, a powerful man, a cruel mother-in-law, okay, a comic representation of a transgender. Okay, so people have decided that this is the way. Women bole to, you have to be like this. You have to wear a sari. If you are a mother, you have to wear a sari. You can't wear a formals, shirt and pant, because it doesn't look like a mother. Okay, so these are some of the things which we want to break the shackles from. Okay, so next is, again, I told you, the body image. Especially in the media, the representation of the women and the men are completely different. We know that biologically, both of us are different. Women are different, men are different. Okay, men may be rugged, men may be very solid, men may be very height, fine. Women are very girlish, you know that. Okay, they are very sensitive, those kind. So media has started giving an idealized image. If you really want to be a woman, you have to be like this. You have to be fair, your teeth has to be good, your nose has to be good, your eyes has to be like this. So you have something called as idealized kind of an image. Okay, especially in the industry of advertisement. Okay, advertisement, see any of the advertisement, women are always the prominent faces than men. The models, women, they should be good, they should be very beautiful, they should be very pretty, they should be very attractive. So these kind of things. And especially in the recent days, we have been seeing a lot of things where products are being sold related to the thinness. You'll be accepted only you are a thin person. Okay, I don't know how many of you have seen the advertisement. Again, Dove has been supportive. The boy comes to see a girl and he sees the girl will be a fatty. He says no. And somebody says your girl is too tall. Somebody says your girl is too dark. Somebody says your girl is too short. So the advertisement is all about start liking yourself. See, we are so much carried away by the messages in the media that, especially the reason is many of them may be parents here, because your children's, your daughters, your wife or your sisters, maybe they're in the family who will get into all these things. See, education is all about making our perspective a little bit broader. We need to think in a very larger context. We need to look into the bigger canvas, not in the smaller way. But advertisement, media, see, they're all the business houses. They come and they go. But the psychological impact remains stronger for us. So these kind of thing, and comparison the culture and the using of the filters. Nowadays, everybody wants to use filters. Everybody wants to look clean. Nobody should have a pimple. Nobody should have a small acne here. Everybody should look fair. So these kind of images on Instagram, on your Facebook, or on your YouTube has really made, especially women and men also to some extent, are very conscious about their body image. That is also a wrong impact of the media. Then again, as I told you, the television and films portraying the stereotype always mother-in-law is bad, always the daughter-in-law is this thing, always this, always that. No, that kind of stereotyping needs to be stopped. And we also feel there is a lack of diversity. Okay, when it comes to women issues, there is a lack of diversity which is being done. Culture, okay, we have a cultural influence, celebrity influence. Then we also have something called spiritualization. That means people are becoming more and more conscious about their physical fitness. See, even I am a person who go to gym. Even I am also very conscious about the way I am and all. So there is nothing wrong. It is about our own health, being our own healthy, because anything can be given by anybody, but not the health. So there is nothing wrong in being health conscious, but to what extent? I told you, right? The case study of a woman where she took it so seriously that just a small comment made her to lose her life. So these kind of fitness or these kind of trends can impact, especially women are being carried away by these kind of trends to a larger extent. So we need to be a little bit cautious. So whenever you people speak to your students, or whenever you people come across these kind of things, especially in your colleges and all, where a girl is depressed, where a boy is also depressed for that matter, it's always bring them, speak, because what I have also experienced is there is nobody who can tell the people, especially the younger generation. They are single child. Many of my even in my family, they are all single child. My sister and my brother, they have only one kids and all. Okay, majority of us in during our time we had 4 or 5 siblings. Okay, so parent, you know how strict the parents were. So we used to have our siblings to speak to share and all. But nowadays people are being having one child. They're so pampered, especially for girls. Okay, you become the princess of your dad. Yes, I was also the princess of the dad. Okay, even Nagesh was the prince of his dad. There is nothing wrong in that. But the kind of situation what used to be there in the previous time is not the same thing. Especially for a woman, especially for a girl. She is, they are becoming more and more sensitive. Thanks to the exposure of the media, exposure of the social media, they want to look good. They want to be praised. They don't want to be corrected. So these kind of things, even I'm telling them, I'm not telling that media is what media is doing is right. There are many adversities. There are many disadvantages which can be carried away when it comes to body image. Especially women are very conscious when it comes to body image. Even during the office also, if somebody pass a comment, what madam you look like this? If they say, what madam you're looking beautiful, yes, that's good. At least they bring a smile on their face. But it also amounts to sexual harassment. You should know the kind of content what we have now. Posh act and all is there. But by chance, if somebody, your co-worker, somebody say, what madam you're looking this way, you're not looking good, it will have an impact on the women also. So it may stop her from working better. It will stop her from performing better in the workplace, all those kind of things. So you have to be very sensitive, and education should make us a bit stronger. Just I always feel about that. And related to this, leadership and gender. See, I told you, men are always been given the forefront in everything, whether it is politics, whether it is economics, whether it is anything for that matter. Media is not an exception. Even in the media, majority of the media houses, whether you take NDTV, whether you take Republic, or whether you take TV9, majority of the time, it is always a gender disparity does exist. Okay, that means many of the editors or many of the top most people in the newspapers, in the advertising industries are all men. It doesn't mean that women are not working. See, when a woman is on the helm of affair, she will have a better idea. I don't say men don't have better idea, but there will be a chance where women can portray these women in a different manner. Okay, you can project yourself in a very positive manner. When men are there, they want to show women as a suppressive one. Again, it's a general statement, because again, many of them will agree that does happen even at the workplace also. Both of us are performing the same, but always men are being given. So this can be broken only through education. This can be broken only through proper sensitizing the issues also. And even in media also, there is a global report, it's a small, oldest one. So it says that majority of the time, it is the men who is ruling, whether it is reporting, whether it is online report on politics. It's always politics. Men, we don't have women reporters in politics. We had Barkadat, now she's no there, and she's not there anymore. She's with some alternative media. When it comes to economics, again, it's a men. So only when it comes to fashion, entertainment, and all, it becomes women. So we have to be a bit careful about it. Then again, as I told you, it is about the transgenders. It is about the portrayal of women. Okay, speaking of stereotypes. See, even we have started giving political right for transgenders. They are also a kind of a human being. It depends upon their biological output or because the kind of insecurity they feel within themselves. Some of them like their body, some of them want to convert into girls. So it is their psychology and it is their body structure. But what has happened here in India especially, but now things are opening up. You are also know there is a lot of rules have been changed on the LGBTQ, that has also been there. Okay, the articles have been passed. The constitution is giving them the rights and all. So what should we do is, even in advertisements also, earlier we used to use transgenders because they come under the gender minorities. Okay, so people used to see them as a kind of bad thing. Okay, people never used to think. Okay, they said, oh, something might have been done in their previous thing, so they are born like this. It's not like that. We, through cinema or through the what they call the advertisement, we are trying to generate there. We are trying to give them more visibility. There are good transgenders who have become more educated. Very recently, there was India's first what they call doctor. There is India's first engineer. There is India's first person who is into police department. Okay, in Madhya Pradesh, there is a principal who is running a big school, who is a transgender. So what happens here is we need to understand that through media, we can sensitize the issues related to transgenders. Earlier, transgenders means they are beggars. Second thing, they are sexual objects. Okay, they were used for sexual trade or the flesh trade, but not anymore. Okay, so they want to come out of this. Okay, it is their biological thing, like men and like women like us, they are also individuals. But are we giving respect or are we stereotyping them? Why don't you allow a person who is a transgender to read something? We have somebody, we in Mysore University, I'm very proud to say that we do have some, what you call, two of them are doing the research in the Mysore University. Okay, her name is Buddha. She is doing her PhD from Ambedkar Studies. Okay, so that means when we speak to them or when we see them, some of them are studying in the colleges in Mysore. Okay, one has become a lawyer in Mysore court. I happen to meet her. His name is Shashi, and she's the first transgender lawyer. That means why I'm telling you also, education can bring in about a change. So media has been writing about it. Okay, even in media, there was a small article which was being written on Shashi when she became the first transgender lawyer in the Mysore city. So these kind of issues can be addressed through media because, as I told, media has the power to change the perception of the people. Only when media shows the correct things, things can be changed. So this is very much so. We are trying to address the issues of gender, or maybe women, or maybe transgenders through news, through documentaries, through films, through advertisements, so that people somewhere at one point of time, let us change. I don't know how many of you have seen this particular advertisement, which won the global award for advertisement. Tata came up with an advertisement because again, I'm speaking about women, gender, how it can bring in a change. We never knew, Domestic Violence Act or domestic, which came into being in 2000, early 2000, it came into act. Before that, Tata company came up with an advertisement called as Bell Bachao campaign. The Bell Bachao campaign is one of the Tata's very well planned, very well executed, very well themed thing where a person goes and just rings the bell of the house where the domestic violence is happening. So there is a pause. The husband opens the door. The lady will be screaming because he'll be beating his wife. So there is a pause. He just sees the man with eye to eye and he just touches the phone. That means if you are going to beat that lady, I'm going to call the police. That was the message intended. So the person becomes soft. Okay, he says that, oh, there are people who are watching at me. So this Bell Bachao campaign through advertising was such a big revolution that it came into a policy where the Domestic Violence Act was been formulated by the government and now it is an act now. So the thing is, these are some of the kind of thing even media has been trying to do in securing a woman who is very helpless. What are the incidents which are happening? At the same time, you should also remember women are always being misrepresented. If you are a strong woman, they say, oh, she doesn't have anybody to have a control, so she's roaming like this. If she goes along with somebody, with a men colleague, she'll say, oh, she's that kind of a thing. What has happened here is people have started judging her. People have become so judgmental on each and every issues. So that is also a problem because we means the women or any other gender are misrepresented. For that, as I told you, body image, or maybe impact on self-perception. You are not allowing your people, your daughters to make a choice. You are not giving the people to make a choice. And even the media, if one story says something, the other story is something else. The other day I was just watching, it was a very waste of time for us also, but there was some discussion happening where the wife is there, then the husband is there, and again one person is there. They are fighting on the television for days together. Where she has to go? She has a choice to be made. She doesn't want to stay with her husband. She wants to stay with the other person. So the thing is, people have started, and it's a phone call. People are calling up her and they are telling her, go back to your husband. Why don't you go back to your husband? So the thing is, there is a lot of suspect and self. People have their own imagination. They have their own assumption. That is also very much wrong. At the same time, women are being giving. There is a kind of a curtail when it comes to limiting the career aspirations. Why do you want to go there? Why do you want to get into the media? I'm just giving an example of my media. When we ask the girls, there are more number of girls get into journalism sometimes. There are out of 20, maybe 10 to 11 of them are girls. Then after PG, they're nowhere. Then when we ask them, whenever we say, Madam, my family doesn't want me to go and work in the night shift. They don't want me to be on television all the time. They say, how will we get a match for you if you appear on the screen every now and then? So there are something which are curtailing us from the career aspiration. The girl is good. She speaks very well. She's very knowledgeable. She's a rank student, but parents doesn't want her to. Then what is the use of having a PG degree? We didn't get her the PG degree just because of this. So I'm not telling that, see, you have your own societal thing. You have your own problems. You have, as a parent also, I can understand your thing. But when it comes to the aspirations of this is also what the media is trying to change. And as I told, please, whenever there is try to have, sometimes media also tries to show that having 10 people in your life is also a normal behavior. See, I'm not telling, see, we do have a choice, we do have a constitution, we do have a thing, we have our own societal norms, because we need to set as an example. It doesn't mean that society has to be spoiled. It's not only because of one gender, it has to be both the hands. Then only it is going to be a society. So the thing is, there are some normal behavior, so which is being shown as a normal thing. Okay, it is not at all wrong. It is okay with it. Having 2-3 people, a woman scolding somebody else, a villain in a serial. Okay, it's a normal thing. Every serial in Kannada, in Hindi, in Tamil, in Telugu, you name it, will have a women villain. So they show it as it is a normal thing. So these kind of normalizing the behavior is also one of the bad impact, which is happening on the society also. Whenever, remember, media reports will have a impact on the mental health. A girl being shown on television, a rape victim being shown on television, a domestic violence woman being shown in television. So how many of them, just because, see, everybody are not going to be strong. People, just because a normal photo was being shown on television, a girl committed suicide because she was not at all a party to it, but her name was there on the screen. A picture was being shown on the television. Parents started questioning, relatives started questioning. She was nowhere related. Just because of the harassment of all these questions, she committed suicide. So it will have an impact on the mental health. So as a media also, we have to be more responsible. You just can't, in the name of TRP, to have more eyeballs. I can't show anybody in a wrong thing. How normalizing, okay, like what you call Rashmika Mandana's picture, which was a deep fake. Okay, it was not her picture, but it was somebody else's picture. She is a celebrity. She filed a case. She fought the case. Cyber security, everything she did, and she came out clean. Just imagine a normal girl in Mysore. Just imagine a normal girl in some rural part. Everything. She may not be there because these technologies, just we're telling you that technological implications is also there on women, which has been impacting us on the normal mental health also. Okay. So we have to, and many of the time, there has been a resistance to change. People don't want to change. They say, no, we are like this. So, nahi, gar ki beti, gar ki bahu, beti ke saman. You say, but you don't do it. घर की बात घर में रहने दो. Let the house matter be within the house. Whether you beat them, it is my family. I'll beat my daughter. I beat my daughter-in-law. It is my right. It doesn't seem to be like this. Okay, so you have to have, because all these are reflected in the media. The kind of projections, the kind of reports, what comes is also completely different. Sometimes it is misrepresented. misrepresenting a woman, breaking her integrity, breaking for their own selfish purpose. That shouldn't happen. And that's the reason why we have problems of misrepresentation also. So what can we do with all these things? So is it possible? So there are many things which we also have to do as a academicians, or there are many important things which we also need to. There are problems are N. So if you go back to 1930s, go back to 1950s, 1980s, 2000, 2010, 2025, these things are always there. Okay, but we as media, what we can do, or what we are also trying to do in the media is, one is diverse representation, where we are trying to tell the people the more positivity. Okay, yesterday I was just listening to one of my friend. He was just telling there are three important P's, which is very much important, whether it is journalism, whether it is society or anything. The first is the people. The people needs to be a little bit broader. See, the parents have their role, teachers have a role, sister have a role, husband has a role, children have a role. So the people are important. So first is the people. You are answerable to these people. Second is the most second important. Hello. Or the second important thing is the kind of what you call positive stories. You need to give the positive stories. See, everybody will have a negativity. See, even I have a life. I have more good things. I also have bad things. But I always look at the positive side of life. That is the positivity. What we let's see, nobody can inject. It's not a COVID vaccination which can be injected to you. Okay, it is self-made. You have to have that positivity. So media is also trying to be more positive. Media should portray more positive, should show achievements. Rather than showing the domestic violence, tell them how she came out of it, how she has built a new life, how she achieved her dream. So these kind of positive role, positive models, positive stories about a woman. Earlier, my friends would agree. In olden days and all, maybe during 1990s and all, we used to see serials like Rajini. We used to see serials like all those kind of big, good serials. Okay, Rajini, all the Shanti serial, which used to be a kind of a motivation for a woman. But nowadays, we don't see any women. Women are always shown as a dressed up doll, or somebody will be plotting about somebody. So positive roles are very much important. That's one first thing. Second important thing is, whenever a media, or whenever what we are also trying to do is, especially when it comes to gender and all, we are trying to put in not more of entertainment kind of a content, but educational kind of a content. So any advertisement, any news, any cinema or any serial, it should have some information which can lead to something very constructive, not destructive. Put some information. Speak to them about the importance of education. Speak to them importance of not going for these kind of a health tips and all. Tell them something about the importance of being a culturally rooted kind of a thing. Okay, so through campaigns, through documentaries, through informational materials, we can try to bring, and that is what the media is supposed to be doing. Third important thing is about the media literacy program. Okay, so this is very much important at this point of time. See, everybody perceive media. See, what you understand by one report, I may not be understanding the same way. But people should be told media literacy is nothing but how to read the news, how to assess the news, and how to understand the news is very much important. You should see both the perspectives. That is where the critical thinking comes into picture. You should think, is it possible? Can this happen? So, and the only way for all these things is a very good, solid educational background. I always tell my students, anybody can take anything from you, but not the education. I always trust my parents. I always thank my parents, because the only best thing what they gave me personally was a very good education. Though I come from a very middle class family. I'm speaking of 30 years old, 30 years back. We had our own struggles, but still, my dad and mother never compromised on education. So today, I'm in a position where I can give education to others, where I can teach my students. So that's the best thing what I can do. I may not give them health. I cannot give them wealth. I can't give them anything else, but I can give them good education, out of which we can do something. So here, why I'm telling you all these things is, we should make our student to think critically. And the reason is why you're all teachers, because when you people experiment all these things in the classes, out of 80, at least let us give some 10, 15 good quality students who can be the leaders of tomorrow who can take up the mantle. Today we are here, tomorrow I'm not there. But at least somebody should carry forward the culture of teaching, culture of being positives, and also good educational initiatives, making the people think, making the, especially the students community as a whole, because we have seen that youngsters are not keeping up to the mark. They are not serious like we used to be having. So during our college days, we wanted to make a career. We wanted to build a house. We wanted to build a car. Now everything is on a platter. Okay, so no, students doesn't know anything. People doesn't know. They don't want to live for tomorrow. They want to live only for today. So these kind of things, that is also we are trying to do that through media literacy. We are trying to educate the people, promote this critical thinking, make them think. Let them analyze the things. Let them not take everything on a face value. So these are some of the things which we have to inculcate in our students. And as I told, especially when it comes to gender stereotype, let us try, even in the media also, we are trying not to stereotype. Okay, we want to show the women in the brighter side. Let us show a woman as a commander. Let us show a woman. Why this Nari Shakti we are speaking about in the Indian government? Why the two more women when the Operation Sindoor was being done? Why those two women were being projected in the media so that girls get influenced? Let girls join the army. Let girls also know that women can also do these kind of things. It need not have to be a men to be in the defense position. So the thing is, we have to empower the women through these narratives, telling them the narratives, telling them the stories, strong stories, positive story, constructive stories, impactful stories, which can do. And whether the media is doing, again, we are consumers. Whatever the media gives, it's not, you shouldn't approve, you shouldn't accept it. You should question it. You should raise voice, at least on your social media, at least through a campaign. People can do n number of things. That is where the gender, or that is where the things can be done. Then highlighting gender equality, as I told, coverage of activisms can be created. So tell them how the Me Too campaign was being done, or anything. Lot of things can be done, and even the advertising. So let us promote good responsibly. Don't think. See, we have influencers. Everybody wants to become Shilpa Shetty. So, though it's not possible. If it's possible, well and good. Not at the cost of somebody's life. So that's the thing. So whenever there is a kind of a thing, see, even in the news channel or even in the serials, I don't know how many of you have been seeing, whenever you watch a serial, there will be a small line in the purple which says that if you find any of the content objectionable, please complain to BCC. What is that BCC? That is Broadcasting Content Complaint Council of India. Okay. Till now, you will be shocked to hear it was done from 2015. Till now, not even 180 complaints have come. That means people are accepted whatever comes on television. Okay, so that means people are not getting proactive. So it is up to the people. It's up to the people to be more proactive, vocal. You need to be more vocal, condemn certain things, criticize certain things. We can criticize only when we think very positively. So that is also there. And let us have more encouragement. People, there will be more dialogue, let there be more talk shows, all those kind of things, which can make things much more thing. And even in the media also, whenever there is a news report which comes, or whenever there is a discussion on the television platform which speaks about sensationalism, okay, like I told you, diverse perspective, please encourage, please don't watch those kind of a content. Please write it to the thing. Please write it on your social media. Start saying no to certain things. See, media, I won't say because I come from media. Okay, because I'm into academics, but I've been writing, I've been working on the things. Even but until unless I don't give the food for thought, we need to provide them a very good food for thought, which can make people think. All are not equal. We are different culturally, we are different economically, we are different culturally or education wise. But there are certain ways in which as teachers, we can do some good number of things. So this is where please accept diversity, whether it is men, whether it's women, whether it's children, minorities or transgenders, whoever for that matter, when it says gender. I don't say men are not being harassed. There are many things also which has been seen. Very recently saw many of the suicide, Mr. Atul, who committed suicide because of the domestic violence, and we wrote a suicide note. All those things, we have seen all those things. So it is for everybody. Okay, it is not men also are living beings. Even we are living beings. But the thing is, how do you balance? How to strike a balance using the channel like media? How we can create an awareness? See, media is like a two-sided sword. You can use it for development. You can also use it for destruction. So let's use this media, especially in promoting the gender issues and bringing a kind of an equality between more men and women, both men and women in a very positive manner. And I always think that we should be more positive. Yes, a lot of bad things are happening. I don't say it's because it's a country, it's a world. Bad and good have to exist together. Evil and the good will always be there. But seeing our education, seeing the kind of job we are into, being the teachers for that matter, I think we can bring a lot of, because classrooms, the children's are being made in the classroom. The way we develop their mindset is what they're going to take out to the society. So they'll be walking out of the classrooms, they'll be walking out of our universities as a good individual. So that will reflect in their behavior in the future also, in their work, in their behavior, in their characters, in the way they treat the society also. So I will stop it here. But as I told, yes, Indian media has been divided. Indian media has been doing a lot of good things as well as even in this way also. But when it comes to gender, there is a high time that we also introspect ourselves. We think about ourselves in a better manner and see how things can be changed by together and by jointly and by collectively. There are a lot of